Hi Carolina,
Hello, teacher Carolina.
my name is Diego,
My name is Julio.
and we are going to talk about the problems that have to face the immigrants.
I am going to talk about the immigrants. The top 10 problems faced by immigrants. Number one, language barriers. By default, this is very difficult. More when the person is a holder. For example, me. For example, employment. When you are a illegal immigrant, it is very difficult to find a new job. Housing. Renting an apartment and a room in the countries in the first world is very expensive. For example, in USA, access to service. It is difficult for illegal immigrants to have access to service. For example, health service,
Services.
health services. It is in this nice picture. Transportation issues. Transportation problems are serious until they adapt for uh, they adapt for to new lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Cultural difference. There is always going to be a difference of culture. For example, in this picture, person black person, Chinese person, whatever. Problem kids. This is terrible. Children are the ones who suffers the most
Suffer.
suffers the most immigration. Prejudice, prejudice and racism. This is the better or the biggest problem with in the immigration. Isolation. This is horrible.
Horrible.
Okay, this is horrible to feel alone in the other country that do not know. For example, in this picture, I remember this when I was traveled to the Chicago. I am alone all time for 3 months. The weather,
Weather.
the weather, the weather is sometimes because but a person adapt to later. For example, thank you.
Now I'm going to talk about the top 10 advantage of immigration. The first one is population pressure. The population pressure is a problem that have any country, and the most clear example is China. China have the higher population pressure in all the world. Statistics that made in 2015, the immigrant help to reduce the population pressure in China in 0.69%, and it allowed that China could improve their health services and production. Number two is employment. Unemployment. Unemployment is natural of any country. In the most of the case, in the third world countries. So, for example, in the case of Ecuador, in the beginning of the new age, the dollarization became a big problem that uh, uh, affect all the families in Ecuador, and the employment is another problem that have to face the immigrant, because it is a reason that people immigrate for a better condition of life. Economic stress is a natural problem that all countries have to face, and this is when immigration appear and help to the economic flow better. The fourth is the demand for natural resources, and this is an obvious thing because in a country when you have more people or more population, the demand for natural resources increase. So immigration is a way to help first the country and the natural resources of that country to rest and for the next years could provide more products. Five is the family, and this is the principal beneficiaries of the immigration because when a relative of the family travel to another country, his or her remittances allow the families in the country of origin to allow to improve their lifestyle. And the food and education is the principal cost that the family of an immigrant pay. For example, the food, the basic food, the basic
Market.
basket food, and for education is for the children. The remittances is the way that the economic stress flows because the remittances come to the country from another country and it allows that the economic increase. The eighth is the labor supply, and this is an advantage for the country that receives immigrants because it increases in the jobs that a natural person doesn't work. For example, the clean industry, construction, and other jobs. For example, the nine is the collection, or the collection is better when a country have a strong laws in that part of the immigration because when for example in a big country that receives immigrants, for example USA, if its laws of collection could better, it could increase her economic. And the last one is business because immigrants can also create business and with that employments for the rest of the people. And that's all. My name is Diego.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Julio.
I
Bye bye.
bye bye.
Nice to meet you. Give me you fine.